Welcome to Table Rounds, we're here today. We grow with Newly Made Academy, lighting the way. Table Rounds, your voice, your guide. Together with knowledge, we stand side by.
Josh, I know it's not easy taking medication all the time.
I'm tired of it, Mom. I just want to feel normal again.
Every day, millions of children face chronic illness. For one little boy, seizures ruled his life, and 6 bottles ruled his table. But one day, small changes began. 1 orange, 1 broccoli crown, 1 smoothie at a time.
Change starts right here. Fresh fruits and veggies, straight from the market.
Wow, is this for me?
It's for all of us. Food can help us feel better, just like medicine does.
Within months, his body began to heal. Inflammation down, energy up, seizures rare. It wasn't magic. It was nutrition. Science working the way it was meant to. Food didn't replace his care. It became part of it.
Josh, you haven't had a seizure for weeks, and now you're on just 1 medication.
Yeah, I actually feel good.
Yeah, healthy food is medicine.
Health doesn't start in a pharmacy. It starts on a plate.
Join us at Health Pro X to learn more about healthy food choices.
Welcome back to Table Rounds. I'm your host, Dr. Princess Dennar. I'm a board-certified internist and pediatrician, and joining me again is my co-host, Dr. Darlonda Harris.
Dr. Harris, and I'm also a board-certified internal medicine pediatrics physician with a certification in obesity medicine. Welcome.
So today's episode is called From Orchids to Table, Building Equitable Access to Fresh Fruits and Nutrition. And we're diving into how something as simple as access to fresh fruits can reshape health and community well-being. And we have a special guest with us today, Ms. Tishia Boldene. She's the owner of Squeezy Fresh, a local store that's been making waves by bringing farm fresh fruits and cold-pressed juices right into our neighborhood. Welcome to the table, Miss Tishia.
Oh, thank you for having me. A pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the invite.
Can you tell us a little bit about Squeezy Fresh? What brought about the conception of starting this?
Yeah, so Kaylee, so it's pretty much Kaylee, my daughter. She started when she was about 12 years old, and she didn't really like vegetables. And then with her brother having epilepsy, it's a rare form of epilepsy that he has called ESES. And I mean, we tried all kind of things, but then we knew that one of the main things was food. Food affects the brain. Food affects everything in your body. So we changed his diet, no diet, no dairy. We went that route. Me and his father always juice. We always, did smoothies and juices like that. But then with Kaylee, suffering from stomach issues. The kids, they don't like to eat their vegetables. They look at it and it just take them a long time. It used to take Kelly 2 hours just to eat 3 peas, right? And so she came up with this she got a creative taste bud, so she started mixing the vegetables and the fruits that she liked into a juice. And then she did a research on her brothers with the brain, what feeds the brain, what vitamin is natural in food for the brain, and it's all berries. Anything with berries at the end feeds the brain, right? So she came up with this drink called Heart Shaker, and it has all the berries in there: strawberry, raspberry, blueberry, blackberry, and she tabled it off with apple. And so she came up with that drink, and I mean, he's been drinking it now. I'm not saying that the juices cured him. He was on 6 medications, now on 1, and he's been seizure-free almost 4 years. Yeah, so that's how Squeezy Fresh came about. It's just kind of, putting the vegetables and the fruits in a drink. And that is tasty for like the young kids and the adults. Everybody likes it. And so we started going to farmers market. First, we started with our family members. She started with them, giving it to them for $2.50. I was like, Kaylee, She said, okay, let's charge 4. I said, okay, I'm going to go with 4. But, they kept ordering every week, and so we found a farmer's market that was kind of good with the schedule on Sundays. We got in there, we started selling it, sampling it. And I always say people eat with their eyes, right? So they used to do this green drinks that she made, and they wouldn't take it. That green drink sit there. And we started sampling it, and then they're like, oh, it don't taste like kale. Well, it really tastes great. And it's like, yeah, you can get natural sugar from your fruits
Mhm.
and veggie that's not gonna, affect none of your intestines. It ain't gonna run your blood pressure up too high. It ain't gonna run your
Mhm.
sugar. You can actually drink your fruits and veggies. And that's how we came about. And then she just started mixing other fruits and vegetables. She have a Summerfest.
Awesome.
She has Island Breeze with papaya, apple, and pineapple. And
Right.
everything in her juices is kind of with fiber, because fiber is important too. Their stomach is really
Right.
important
It is.
because it holds a lot of bacteria, parasites, and all of that. So that's how Squeezy Fresh came about from a 12-year-old. And now she's 16.
Nice.
I've got her a store. I said, and she wanted to introduce it to younger people too, get them drinking
Yes.
more of it. And so that's how Squeezy Fresh came about.
It's really awesome. And I actually had the privilege of going to Squeezy Fresh on Friday. I knew you were coming on. I said, let me try it. I live in Destrehan, born and raised in Destrehan, pass
Okay.
that way every day. And I noticed, I said, oh, there's a new store.
Uh-huh.
Because it used to be something else. And so I said, well, they put something else there. So I went in on Friday morning after I dropped the kids off at school, and I had what's the one, the PB&J
Oh, the peanut butter
with the peanut
booster
butter.
smoothie. Mm-hmm.
Right. I had the peanut butter booster because I used to, when I used to get smoothies after working out, I would sometimes get the ones I would add peanut butter because of the protein.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had the PB&J. They had peanut butter, bananas, I think coconut milk, and it
Oh,
was
that's nice.
super good, super, super good. My 2-year-old, he was with me and he was like, I want some, I want some. So I had to share with him. But the interesting thing that I thought was really interesting on Friday, I had that about 9 o'clock. And probably about 2 o'clock, I was like, did I eat?
Nice.
I'm so used to like eating, especially being I'm 4 months pregnant. So, I'm usually on a schedule. But it was
Mhm.
like I wasn't even hungry. I wasn't even
Nice.
really thinking about food. So I don't even think I ate again until 3. Like I still felt full
Mhm.
from that smoothie that morning. So many people may have that misconception. Will that be enough? Will that fill me up?
Right.
And I feel like finding the right ingredients, I mean,
Mhm.
especially with that protein in it, it really worked. And I eat. Like I have a good appetite.
She's
So
a foodie. She's a
I'm a
foodie.
foodie. I'm a foodie. So for me to say, like, I had to think about it. Did I eat? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I
And you're
definitely
pregnant,
will be
right?
going back. Right. Because I'm usually on the schedule. And so I
Mhm.
thought that was really interesting because it was delicious. It kept me full. And honestly, it wasn't that expensive. I was thinking it
Right.
would be higher.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. It might have was $8. Like it
Yep.
wasn't
Yep.
anything crazy to say
Right.
that you're getting natural products. I watched the lady make it, and
Mhm.
it was no powder or no. It was
Nice.
natural
That's
Right.
excellent.
and tasty.
The nutrient rich food, that's what you said too, right? So,
Mhm.
it just held you all day long because it's
Mhm.
nutrient rich. It's not the
Right.
added sugar, it's
Right.
natural sugar, which has fiber and all of that, and those vitamins that we need instead of just plain added sugar with absolutely no fiber. So that was able to
Right.
hold you and make you full throughout the day. So that's amazing.
It was.
How's the community responding to this, Miss Boldene?
Slowly, because we find that a lot of them is miseducated. So that's
Right.
why we tell our employees, you got to come from behind that register. You got to explain to them every ingredients in this juice so they can understand what it does. Like some people didn't know what chlorophyll was. They didn't know what camu. They heard about kale, but they thought kale was nasty. They prefer spinach.
Mhm.
I'm like, kale actually got more iron in it than spinach,
Mhm.
It
And
does.
so
Right.
it's like they slowly coming around, but then when they do taste it, they're repeated customers. So we're trying to get
Mm.
into we in the education mode right now. And I didn't
Mhm.
think I really did think in that particular neighborhood that it would be hard, right? And
Right.
because we also
Mhm.
in the strip mall of a gym.
Mhm.
But I always
Mhm.
have a myth, and people might get mad if I say it, but not everybody that go to the gym is healthy.
That's
Sometimes
absolutely true.
the
Right.
Yeah.
outside looks good, but the inside is
Mm.
all jacked up. So
Right.
you have to be able to balance. And if I had to choose going to the gym and eating right, I would start with eating right first. Then
Right.
I would
Mhm.
go to the gym. Because when you eat right, you feel good. Then you have the energy
Right.
to go to the gym to get the muscle. The muscle also have to have a resting place. You have to feed it so it can rest that inflammation. And it's nothing better
Right.
than to drink ginger or turmeric or, something like that that's going to help with the inflammation. And that's what we're trying to offer. We're trying to educate them on these juices and these smoothies. Like the smoothies are all natural. We have no dairy in there at all. It's either
Good.
coconut milk or almond milk, right? And
Awesome.
it's fresh fruits. It's fruits. You don't see us like Dr. Harris said. She saw her make it. You didn't see us
There's no
adding
powder.
alternative. And that's why it filled her up, because we also use a protein that is a vegan protein. They don't have all that make your stomach hurt and stuff. It's really good protein with a lot of vitamins. So just trying to educate the people is that's where we are now, is just trying to get them to understand that it actually helps you. Medication, yes, you have to be on that, but also eating the right balanced meal. And you don't have to, for lunch, you don't have to have a big plate of food, because it's something about eating heavy for lunch and then you're tired. That means
Yeah.
that means you ate
It's
something.
inflammatory. Allow the food,
itis.
allow the cause the itis, right? So it causes
Yeah.
inflammation. It's interesting with Kaylee trying to find a solution to your son with the
Mhm.
seizure. She kind of stumbled on some of the things like the anti-inflammatory foods, like the berries, the strawberries, the blackberries, all
Right.
of those anti-inflammatory foods, and makes this mix. And
Right.
one of the myth is that these fruits are high in sugar, so I can't eat the sugar, but not really understanding the anti-inflammatory or antioxidant
Mhm.
properties that we
Right.
see from these foods specifically.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
when you hear of food deserts, when you hear of the lack of fresh fruits or the lack of groceries,
Mhm.
and I'm not too familiar with Desterham, that neighborhood specifically, but what do you think is a solution to trying to get people who aren't near Squeezy Fresh? How do we get them to learn about the importance of fruits, or get them access to be able to taste this so that they can get the benefits? Because food is medicine. Food is
Right.
medicine,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I always tell people that you can get a six pack from what you eat more so than what you do, right?
Right. That's true.
And so how do we get people into these areas
Mhm.
when there are food deserts?
I think, in my honest opinion, I think that having like willing like doctors like you guys come to pop-ups, and share some of the, the ingredients of some of these, the juices and the fruits and the veggies with some of them, because they literally is miseducated. And I find that even with some doctors, they don't really share,
Right.
right? They don't
Right.
really share the importance. Like I had a lady, she told me, "Oh, my doctor told me don't drink green tea because it's bad for me." And I said, I said, "Really?" I said, green tea is a great oxidant, tea that you can, even matcha, matcha is good. You would rather drink that than that Red Bull. Did she tell you get off the Red Bull? And she said, "No."
Right.
I said you should get off that Red Bull. She should have told you get off the Red Bull and stay on the tea. but
With the
but
sugar and all that. Right.
right, but she didn't tell her nothing but that. So I just think that doing pop-ups, especially with doctors that's willing to share the same interest with the juices and the smoothies, and just doing pop-ups and just giving it away, letting
Right.
them taste it and letting them tell you how you feel afterwards. Do you feel bloated? Take this package home and tell us how you feel. No, we're not promising
Right.
anything, but we guarantee that food is medicine. Anything from the earth
It
is
is.
good for you. So
Right.
we're not trying to say, oh, don't take none of your medicine. We're just trying to tell
Right.
you eat healthy with your medicine, right?
Correct.
So that it can balance off, because sometimes, and you guys can vouch for it, like borderline diabetes, or like when you say borderline, can food help that borderline become not borderline,
Oh,
Absolutely.
right?
For sure.
So I
For
think that
sure.
going into the neighborhoods, especially the ones that's like miseducated, and just sharing with them and just having an event, like even if it's once or twice a month, like for an hour,
Right.
and just setting up a table and just, sharing the knowledge with them. It could be like a short literature, because, people reading span is not, you can't
Attention
put all
span
that.
is short nowadays.
You just need
New generation.
right, yeah.
Quick.
Up like a one page and just kind of, and give and
Right.
talk with them, and just let them try it. And that's what the slogan is. Just try one. That's what Kaylee say. Just try one. That's our whole. Just try one.
Your perspective, Dr. Harris, I've always felt that nutrition has not been a significant portion of the education for physicians, right? And as a result of that, they have a hard time educating patients on exactly what to eat, right? They have a hard time educating people or patients about antioxidants, those kind of things that you get naturally. So everything is about pill, pill, pill. And I don't know, what's been your experience with other physicians, or just your experience in general? I know when I was in one of the hospitals, there was another physician that did functional medicine. And as a result of that, she introduced me to a little bit more about herbs and natural foods and how that itself can be more of a cure than just prescribing medications, right? But what's been your experience, Dr. Harris?
I agree. Personally, with medical school residency, I don't really feel like I had a lot of exposure to nutrition per se, that it really wasn't until I became board certified in obesity medicine and going through that coursework that I really started saying, wow, like this is a whole new world. Like this is a way to treat patients without medication. This is a way to treat patients, even if you use medication, with less medication. So it really was life changing for me, because I know a lot of physicians do not have that training, do not have that background. And even if you do have that training or background, you may not and likely do not have the time to really sit there and change years of cultural
Right.
practices when it comes to nutrition. Nutrition is such a big deal in many, many cultures that it takes just constant, let me try to do better. Even for myself, like I know better, but it's still like a constant, do I get this or do I get that? Do I get this or do I get that? Really trying to tell myself this is healthy. I should eat this, don't eat that, eat this, don't eat that. That just that constant exposure and being around people, other people like you all and Ms. Boldene, that can really show us how to eat well and it tastes really good. It helps, because
Right.
we always think, well, that won't be good. Or like you said, it's green. My kids, I used to make green smoothies all the time so they could eat vegetables. They didn't want the green ones.
Right.
So it's like just that perception of we eat what looks good is so powerful that we
Yeah.
really need to learn ways, like you're talking about, how to make really healthy smoothies and meals using things such as kale also look appeasing so that people will go for those options.
Right. And I think part of the problem too is, so one of it is literacy, so people being aware of it. The other issue is access. So people having access to actually get to these places. And the other one is affordability. It's so costly to be healthy. And I think that's part of the problem, you know.
Right.
And before we started the podcast, Ms. Boldene was saying how she was at a farmer's market. And so a lot of people don't know that that is also an access route to be
Yeah.
able to get some fresh fruits.
Mhm.
Access, literacy, education. And that's why I like doing these podcasts and having something online, so that people now who can't necessarily travel can understand the significance of that. And when they have to make a choice between something that's healthier, some food that's healthier, they're going to choose these fruits instead of picking up that chips.
Or
Agreed.
they can make kale chips. Like I told this one lady, I said, listen, you like the ranch and the Cheetos, go get you some kale, wash it off real good, and then just put you some sea salt on there and some olive oil and run it through the oven and dip it into your little ranch sauce. You can make your own ranch sauce if you want to. But
I
she was
like
like,
that.
oh, I can do that. I'm like, yeah. The kids wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even know what they eat
Right.
because it tastes so good. You put a little black pepper on there and a little
That's
sea salt,
good.
and you dip it in some ranch, and it's crispy. It's really good.
Right.
And
That's
she was
good.
like, yeah, but I don't think, because they're going to, I say, listen, put it in front of them. If they don't like to physically touch it, you're going to have to put it in a juice. That tastes good.
Right.
You know, something that
Right.
tastes good where they can drink it. And they don't even know they're getting the vitamins. Like we
Right,
have
right,
one of
right.
our bowls, our smoothie bowls, we call it Blue Nami. It has sea moss in it. You know, and it's like you get sea moss, and you know, sea moss is a thing too. You know, it's got a lot of research on that. You know, we sell herbal teas. We don't, you know, like soursop. We boil the leaves in spring water, and we don't use like raw cane sugar. We use agave, which is a plant, you know, from a cactus. You know, so we kind of trying to do, you know, healthy stuff and just explaining to people that this is the effect of it, and then it also is great tasting. You know, so it's almost like a balance. You eat good, get some rest, because that's another thing. And
Right.
take your water.
Right,
Drink your
right, right, right.
water, you know, and it's not flavored water too much, but it's like just trying to get people, and like you say, Dr. P, that the access to eating healthy, people do have to miss that it's expensive. You know, they have the myth that it'll taste good, or they'll start the regime for like 30, 60 days, and
Right.
then they fall back into
And they
that
stop.
trap,
Mm-hmm.
you
Right.
know?
Right.
And
Right.
it's
Right. Right.
like,
Right.
yeah, and it's like it's a choice. You know, it's a choice and a challenge. Which one you gonna choose? You know,
Right.
so
I agree. Kind of like it's a lifestyle. We always
yeah,
say it's a lifestyle. It takes changes, and it won't happen overnight, but just
right.
small changes add up. Even adding a green smoothie a day. I know during COVID I used to
Yep.
make green smoothies because I had more time. And when
Yeah.
I tell you issues like constipation, you'll never have again
Nope.
if you drink a green smoothie every day. You never have it again. Instead of taking medicine and Miralax and
Right.
Linzess, drink a green smoothie every day, you'll be fine. But the issue for me after COVID was just time. So it's good to
Yeah.
know that it's places like you have so
That's
that you can
key.
just run in and grab it. That's much easier for me now. Let me go grab that smoothie.
Right.
I'm
And
good.
it's healthy.
And
Yeah.
it's healthy.
Yep, and you're getting all your nutrition. So that's yeah. And I think that's the thing is just trying to, we got to go out there into the communities and kind of like
Right.
share it and stuff like that. So yeah.
Could you tell us your address so we have it here so people can come to your
Yeah.
address to
It's
Squeezy
Hmm.
Fresh?
yeah, it's 1955 Armand Boulevard, Destrehan, Louisiana, Suite 8. So we the last one at the end toward the church,
Hmm.
yeah. And we open
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, and then Saturdays 8 to 3. We
Excellent.
close on
Excellent.
Sundays.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, and thank you
My
for
pleasure.
what you're doing in the community, and Kaylee for what she's doing in the community. That's
Mhm.
amazing. She's 16 years old, right?
Yeah.
And is doing something
Mhm.
like that. That's amazing. Pretty much she's teaching about health equity
Right,
and
right.
in her own right, with the work that she's doing. And we really
Yeah.
appreciate that. So our takeaway for this table rounds is introduce fresh fruits to your diet. Continue to support local vendors like Ms. Boldene, Squeezy Fresh, and all the work that they're doing to bring nutrition to the community, and continue to learn and really encourage your physicians to also educate you and provide you with the information about how fruits and food can be medicine. Healthy food can be
Mhm.
medicine is the
Hmm.
takeaway that I'm walking away with.
Agree.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank you
much.
for table rounds. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.